Hi guys, this is the follow-up video of the tutorial of ALCI xanmod. I've been doing all kinds of things because this is the end result. We have a 5.1612 xanmod kernel on our system, so it's installed. It's after installation, and in the boot folder we'll just find this lonely guy, and in the grub you'll see that there is just that one present. So what did I do? Remember, I'm a complete noob at building Linux kernels. So I tried first to install the Linux kernel on this machine, and I failed. I got a black screen and got this FS root or something message that you get then, and then it fails. We have an alternative, right? If I'm not up to specs yet for building a Linux kernel, PS, the other machine to my left is already building another Linux kernel with an xanmod-edge kernel, right, with other settings. It's just a matter of finding the correct settings. Then in the meantime, I just did this, Ctrl-Alt-E, and I went over to, yes, right, let's try the Celtx repo. So I activated the Celtx repo, which means I can install just about any kernel I want. Sudo pacman-s, and then Linux, right? Take a look at all the Linux kernels I can now install. And I've used xanmod LTS, worked fine, and in the end I'm using the Linux xanmod-edge, as you see on here. I do think that's the edge. We can only quickly see with minus remove, then we know for sure, minus remove Linux. So I've been playing around. Edge. So the machine itself, SSD itself, is changed. We're getting the Linux kernel from the Celtx. Not that that matters, but I've played around, and as a result I said, okay, we're not going to get it from our own repo. I removed the local repo, our own build. And like I said, the other machine, I'll test it out later on if I find the config for my machines. But in the meantime, we just moved, not here, we just moved our information, our repository, our data is not coming from, you get it, Celtx. It's coming from Celtx and not from ALCI repo. So a small change, we can actually see it probably faster. Open with Git ahead. All right. Instead of saying it's coming from us, the Linux kernel didn't work. I'm going to rely on the build of the Celtx AOR. It's a lot bigger because, hey, it has included all the CPUs, right? I just needs one support for one CPU. That's enough, and that's why it was so small. But of course, it has to work. So Celtx AOR is back in, Celtx mirror list and keyring is back in, and the result you've seen, the result is the fact that we have now a working system, xanmod, but I do see it's not pushed yet to the internet, so xanmod kernel not coming, right? Not coming from ALCI repo, but from Celtx repo, and that's the only change basically I've done. All the rest of the technicality that I've shown in the video is exactly the same. We can always take a look, but I didn't change anything in here, I believe. Git ahead. So the only thing is this thing, so that's okay. So voila, master main. Nothing changed here. It's pure, the kernel that I've built locally on this machine isn't working. So now we don't put the xanmod of Celtx on here. We'll just get it from the repo itself, right? Doesn't make sense. And PS, I think it's quite big as well. So we always get issues if you have too big files, far cache, pacman, packages. And then let's just do it alphabetically. Linux xanmod is rather big. Linux xanmod, xan headers, we have here the xan headers 26, 26.9, and here is the, I've also tested this one, so 82, getting rather big for GitHub. I don't like it, it's that big. I guess it's this one, so it's just under 100 megabytes, which is okay, right? But it's close, it's a close call, as they say. There are several. I'm not sure which one is coming from Celtx, to be honest. But this is, well, just watch out for the limit there, 100 megabytes. So here's there's totally no problem because it's coming from the Celtx repo. Just saying. I think I've told everything, and that makes that the tutorial is at an end, and that you now have the possibility to get this ALCI ISO xanmod-edge, to build it. It's called ArcoLinux, and what's in there? Control find xanmod, right? We have the xanmod for Calamares. Ah yeah, by the way, I'm gonna rebuild this thing and I'll put it online, because I've also built the new Calamares as well. So let's rebuild everything. We could, 6 minutes, we could make that in the video. So ALCI Calamares, this one, installation scripts, number 40. Off it goes. In the meantime, we can do some administration and make sure that everything is online. So let's do it like this. Like this. Push to all ALCIs. So you guys have everything I have. Double check. Check. Normally everything is there, but now we're really sure. No, everything was there. Now I do see that I have this nice code. That's something you can do if you have a mix of GitHubs from the old names master and main. And we just did this one. And remember that we had to change the master to main. I've made a little script here that says if grep shift tab, if you find the word main somewhere in there, then you use main, and otherwise if you find master, use master, right? That's so much easier. Control C, save. So the two new guys are xanmod and this one, git, save, and why not do the package build as well. Save, and you can test it again. ALCI repo, we use that as well all the time. Just the ones that we use now. Other administration that I can do. Often I type test push and just keep an eye on it. That's gonna be difficult. Here we have the code changes, right? We've made some changes in xanmod-edge, that's correct. Some changes in ISO xanmod, that's correct. And we're using main using main package build, the repo, and that's it. So other administration while we're waiting for the ISO is the following. We have added a line. Like I said, often I make scripts for that, but not here. So same, we don't want to see the same, we want to see the packages. Remember that we've added a line and then it jumps, it makes strange jumps if we do not add this one. Control C, before then we're gonna add an extra line. Before then we're gonna add an extra line. So it's everywhere the same list of packages. 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and only xanmod is used in this one. Here is the config pure, and there's the LTS. And now we save it. Okay, that's that. Now we have this one, that one, and that one. Packages. So here's the xanmod. There is no xen, I see. Wait a moment. Here it makes sense. That's xanmod, and where is hardened then? Administration. Hardened is not in there. Alphabetically, that's where it should be. And that's the LTS. So hardened. Config def. Like so. It's just a workflow, right? It's just not necessary. But it makes it easier to compare. That's why I do it. Because you could discuss, hey, it's more work. But it's easy like this. So the xanmod-edge and xen, they go like here. But of course, this is the column of hardened. So we don't need the xanmod. Nor do we need it here. We just want the column rs config def check and config harden check and the LTS, and that's all. In the meantime, we'll probably be ready. No, nope. Let's go on. So this is the only one I need to change. That one, and that one maybe. Just compare again, because if you do just two, we're humans, right? We make mistakes, and it's easy if you do it like this, and you can correct yourself, check yourself again and again and again. So the hardened has been added to the list. Alphabetically it has to go there, that's correct. And the xanmod is not used, not used, not used, that's correct. This is the ALCI column rs config, check, check, and check again. We've decided to add grub to the list so that people know, hey, there's grub, right? But it is a dependency, I think, of something else. Yeah, the neo-fetch, what did we do again? Did we delete it here and put it somewhere else? There were two neo-fetches. Control find neo-fetch. I don't recall. I have to go back and compare. Let's save again and see. All right, administration I can do later. So super F7, we've got ourselves a kernel, not my kernel, the kernel from Celtx. It was 4 times bigger, I believe. Oh, we're booting straight away. Power off. This was UEFI. Let's switch. So that's tested as well. Now our BIOS. We do get other messages, other lines, probably due to the kernel that we're having, right? That's possible. And the audit is also less in ArcoLinux. Some decisions that we've made. All these audit lines, we don't want to see them. And there we are. We have the voila. We have the last calamaris, right? The latest, the last, whatever. The ultimate calamaris of today. Then we go for next, Belgian, next, erase disk, choose whatever you want, choose whatever you want, next. And since this is a very bare, oh, can't seem to write my own name, voila. Since this is a bare system, right, this is pure XFCE, that's it. What else? New fetches there, yeah, that's something extra. Don't see anything particularly extra. So that's it, new fetch, I guess. And we have already xanmod. We're booting up with xanmod. So unpacking goes a lot faster. There is no sound. Pulse audio, pipe wire, you choose. Nice icons. These are the defaults. And all the rest that other distributions give you is added. White at dark is actually not that bad, except, yeah, except the icons. Done. Now we go to the grub. And xanmod-edge it says. And off we go. Welcome, they say. And off we go. And for me, it's an extra exercise, settings manager, keyboard, layout. Forget about this layout. Oh, no, Belgian. Cool, cool, cool. No extra. Belgian is there. I'll have my AZERTY. So that's it for me, guys. This can conclude the video. If you want to say, oh, I want to have something else, even another kernel, right? First of all, think about, well, that there is this Celtx repo. Secondly, try to build yourself, also good. So I'm going to continue my study on how to build kernels for sure, for the coming years probably. And if you want to have your own distribution that has a kernel that you like, that you prefer, that you choose, all you need to do is compare what's different between this one, that one, and that one. The kernel, that's it. What's different between this one, that one, and that one? Kernel. So compare, download all of them and compare and start learning what matters if you choose another kernel. All right. I'm wondering this Linux xanmod-edge preset. Let me have a look. Let me reboot. What happened to that little file? It should be inside the folder. Okay. and it should find it. It's in the list. So file system, etc. That particular folder is make init. Voila. There he is, Linux and Linux preset. As a result, we'll have boot these two guys. So the Linux is gone. Okay. And if we run, and that's the thing, make init cpo minus capital P, it's gonna run everything that's in there, and yeah, doesn't find that one. So we could delete the file. A nice cleanup would be better. But I wonder why the other guys, LTS and Zen, if they have the same issue then. So you see, it's always analyze, analyze, analyze until you get perfection. All right, guys. Cheers.